Hi, this is Ben from 561 Music Podcast. Right now, we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It just helps us get out there more. It also enables us to monetize the podcast, to make it better, do more advertising for it and things like that. Subscribe to the podcast and hit the notifications button. That would be doing us a really big favor. Thank you very much.
Check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
How's it going, dude?
I'm doing really well, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I have a bit of a mixed sort of bag of emotions, seeing as I just came off the not the final, but the last gig in a while for No Name Scar Band.
But it was a hell of a gig, man. It was
right?
fun. Yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. A lot of energy in that room. It was a really good time.
Absolutely. You came down and filmed it with Justin, didn't you?
Yeah. I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I can't promise that everything was in focus, but I did film it. So
yeah, that's nice because we'll have some kind of memento for it, you know.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was nice to see a couple other people jumping up in there. The Hard Richards guys were jumping up on the stage with you guys and everything. Yeah, it was fun, man. And then the Shake opened up, and they were phenomenal as usual.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, Spread the Dub closing out the show with all their good vibes, man.
Totally. And we played every song we've ever learned or written. Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
We just figured, seeing as it's the last hurrah, we may as well kind of make the most of it.
Matt looked like he was about to die by the end of the second set. He was sweating, just dripping sweat everywhere.
It was cool though, and it was a nice way to go out. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I think we're still going to write songs, and just do it remotely and send stuff back and forth.
Nice.
We've got a few ideas that we never really got to fruition. So
Matt's moving, but Justin's moving too, right?
Yeah, he's going to Chicago. Yeah.
Look at that, you guys are spreading out.
Yeah, his partner is an actor, and so I think the main reason they're moving there is so that because Chicago's a really good city for that stuff.
Okay.
So it's like second city theater group and all this kind of stuff.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like really big for theater. So she's pursuing her acting thing, which is awesome.
Yeah, man.
And I think Justin's just ready for a change. He's like born and bred pretty much down here.
I feel like Justin moving away is like single-handedly destroying the South Florida music scene, though. Like he's in like 14 bands. Like, what's going to happen to the music scene?
Especially
like
the punk scene, yeah.
And not even like he's a drummer for you guys, but he's not just a drummer in every band. Like he plays different things, like different bands. He's a front man. He's like, yeah,
exactly. The Muggles, Violet Silhouette, us, and all these.
Yeah,
other
the hardcore band he's in.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 bands.
I know. Yeah, I know. I don't know what we're all going to do. It's going to be a bit of a disaster. It's going to start new bands. One of us is going to have to step up and learn how to play the drums.
Yes, that's not me, man. That's definitely not me.
Well, we have some great guests. We have the band, the Resolvers. Thanks so much for coming down, guys. We've got David, Sahara, and Ojay with us. How are you all?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Yes.
Well played.
Yeah. So the questions that we like to ask are kind of background questions at the beginning because I'm really curious about the way that people got into music and what your sort of journey was at the beginning. And why don't we start with David? How did you find yourself playing music at the beginning? Were your parents supportive? How was your sort of family situation at the beginning there?
It was actually really good.
Great.
Because everyone in my family is a musician. So like my mom and my dad, they're both musicians. My sister actually played the sax for a while. My aunt sings and she plays guitar. My grandma released an album.
Oh, wow.
When she was 70.
Dude, that's
she
awesome.
released her first album. She finally got all the money together. She's like, this is something I want to do, been trying to do, because she sings and writes songs. So that was cool. So yeah, everyone in my family is, my dad was, he was a professional musician. Like that's what he did. And he was also a computer engineer at the same time. So, it was all kind of different things. My mom also did, they went to Tulane University. So they studied here. And then, but they would always play music. So the music's been around forever. But I didn't want to play music.
Oh, really?
That's not what I wanted to do. No, not at all. I wanted to play anything but music because I felt like everyone played music because everyone in my family did. I just didn't know it wasn't a normal thing for everyone's family to be a musician. I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to be like everyone else.
That's so cool.
And
awesome.
my mom forced me. She was like, you have to take an instrument like seriously, like for real.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, cool. I was like, I'll play the sax because we already have one at the house.
Right,
and my
right.
sister and my mom was like, okay, fine. So went to go play the sax, and they said, no, you can't play the sax. We have too many sax players in the band. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, I'll take either the clarinet or the trumpet. Were the two instruments left. There was one trumpet and one clarinet left. And then I looked at the clarinet section, and I was like, hell no, they're all nerds. And I was like, these guys, I cannot hang with these dudes. And I looked at the trumpet section, I was like, all right, well, they're nerds too, but they're not as bad. So I went in the trumpet section, and then after that, it was actually.
Trumpet's a solid choice, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, guys, you have no idea. It's like the best worst thing ever.
Do you ever look back and like go, man, I wish I was playing clarinet? See, I don't think you did.
Hell no. Nobody ever looks back on their life and say, oh, I wish I was playing clarinet.
That's what I'm saying, man. You made the right choice.
Man, nobody does that, bro.
So we do this event here called Give and Let Give, which is like a music instrument exchange type of an event, and someone brought a clarinet. I borrowed it for a week. I'm a sax player, and
I'm so sorry.
and I messed around with it for a week. It is hard to make a nice sound out of a clarinet.
It's a tough instrument.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite ones to listen to, for real.
Yeah. When you get a really good player.
Yeah.
There's such range on those things.
Oh my God, absolutely. Oh no, we could talk about that thing all day. But no, to look back, to answer your question, no, I don't look back at the clarinet. No, I wish I had done that. The trumpet's already tough enough, and it's just more glory in the trumpet, man. It's just more glory.
No, I hear that. Like, what kind of music were your parents listening to when you were growing up?
Oh my God, that's a good question. Because when I remember taking long car rides from New Orleans to Pensacola Beach in the summer, and we used to have the tape deck because I'm that old, and in the car, in a Nova.
Yeah.
And we used to drive it around, and we had Michael Jackson, Madonna. We had John Denver.
Oh, dang.
Because we were working on our English, y'all. Well, no, we actually had someone's in the kitchen with Dinah.
Oh,
someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, singing the do-si-do. I can go all day. This is like, that's how I learned English. And then, what was the other one? Oh my God. Madonna, and I forgot there was one more. So, but the Latin music came from like my parents singing, so that was different. So that's how I would get it. They would just sit around the house and sing all day and play, and I was just like, oh my God, shut up.
Is that what they were performing? Was the Latin stuff? Or?
Yeah,
nice.
My dad like sang in a salsa band and a gaita band from Venezuela.
Okay.
Nice, man.
And then my mom would sing with my aunt, like música, different things. So it was interesting. And yeah, they were just singers. They, be at parties singing. I don't know. I was too little. I do remember being in a bar, sleeping on my mom's lap while we were watching my dad's set, and then him coming over like during his break and like hanging out with me, and then going back to turn your phone off, bro. When I'm telling my story, we had this long conversation about phones. I'm kidding. Ojay, I love you. But yeah, I remember him coming by and like picking me up for like 30 minutes, and he's like, I gotta go back and get back on stage. And then I would be on the bar in my diapers. I remember this. This is vivid, in the club. And like dancing on the bar, my mom holding me. I remember that. Funny. And my dad would be like doing his thing, and then everybody be clapping for me because cause my dad's like, that's my son, and and I'm in my diapers and stuff. That this is me. Yeah, this is true. Sahara awesome. Can tell you this is.
He likes to do it.
So he was center stage from an early age.
I just like it. I like it.
It's all in the hips, right?
It's all in the hips. I knew, right? From birth, I knew.
How old were you when you moved to the US?
I moved back and forth. I came when I was like 2.
Yeah.
And back in the day when they let you fly without adult supervision at Tua, like it was just me and my sister. Like
right.
And it was like they put us on the plane. I wreaked havoc on that plane. And and then I went back to Venezuela, and then I came back to Miami.
Right.
Later on, maybe I was like 9. And since I didn't go to school in the first early years because I wasn't old enough, so we only spoke Spanish. I only knew Spanish.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then
doesn't really matter in Miami.
Yeah, well, in New Orleans, my neighborhood was all Spanish. Well, it was pretty mixed, but in Miami, it was just like, it was tough to learn English,
Yeah.
But also, I didn't have many friends either because everyone who was here was speaking English already too at some point. So it was like. So, I did my share of ESOL and all that, learning how to speak English and my numbers. And
gotcha.
It kind of sucked. But anyway, yes.
All right, let's, Sahara, how did you find yourself getting into music?
Well, I've been around music for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
My father's a musician, Ernie Smith. I remember singing. My dad used to bring us to sing at this bar called the Tropique in Fort Lauderdale, and I remember I had this Afro puff on my head.
Yeah.
With a little. Do you remember those cone? I don't know. They were called cone clips. I had a cone clip on my head.
Yeah.
It looked it looked like a pyramid.
Yeah.
So we have video of that.
Oh,
Just
that's awesome.
yeah.
It's called evidence now, but
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. And I remember singing "The Wind Beneath My Wings" with my dad a lot, and he would take us places and show us.
That's cool. Ernie Smith is somewhat of a reggae legend. So I imagine sort of growing up around that, you must have just absorbed it. It must have been around you all the time. Did you find yourself kind of like in the studio sometimes and things like that, sort of watching and record or anything?
No, when he's doing the studio stuff, I was dancing. That was like my passion at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is. It's
all in the hips.
It's all in the hey, you know it. Yeah. I danced a lot, but when I could, he'll bring me up on stage and I'd be embarrassed and like.
Where does your dad live now? Is he in Jamaica or is he?
He lives in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Do you go back and forth much?
We try to, yeah.
Yeah.
Since COVID, it's been
a little weird, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go. We're going soon, in a couple of weeks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome. What about you, OJ? What was your journey with getting into music?
Well, like she said, we were around my dad,
right? Yeah,
a lot. We played at a couple of his gigs. I wasn't really singing back then. I would play a tamp. I was a percussionist, pretty much. I would. My mom would come home from work and all the pots and pans would be out in the middle of the kitchen.
That was my brother.
Banging away.
Oh my God, no!
My brother used to do the
I'd
exact
just be
same
banging away.
Yeah.
Probably by the age of 5, I was doing that constantly to the point where they had to get me a teacher. But I was
teach
still,
you how to play the pots and pans.
Yeah,
better than cheaper than getting you a therapist.
I was still too
teacher.
young, man. I didn't really concentrate enough, and so they stopped giving me lessons. 'Cause I guess I grew out of it a little bit, but I still played. There was always something in the house to play on. There was a piano in the garage.
Cool.
There was a drum set. He had a studio in the garage area, so that he was building, and his bands would come in and rehearse in there all the time and stuff. So one day,
carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, one day I went in while they were setting up to practice, and I went in and just played a little one drop.
Yeah,
which at the time for me back then was because every lesson I took it was rock first. So.
Okay.
So that's pretty backwards when it comes to reggae.
Sure, yeah.
A one drop. So
almost exactly backwards. Yeah.
So I started this one drop and I was doing it really well, and the whole band just kind of jumped in, and it felt so great. I got goosebumps immediately, and then as soon as I tried to do a fill, I messed up and stopped the whole thing. But from that point, middle school, I was like, yeah, okay, I want to do music.
Yeah, excellent. Did you find yourself sort of coming across sort of other reggae artists when you were at a young age?
Yeah. We, we would be backstage for a lot of the festivals that he did in town and around, Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So we knew the Marleys better when we were younger, but
sure, yeah. It must have been quite the experience. I think
met
when you're young, though, you
times,
don't even really realize how awesome.
No, we didn't even realize. We didn't realize who we were meeting, and what,
Yeah.
No, we never really realized. It wasn't until I was a little older that I was like, wow, this is different. Not many kids get to meet people like this.
Yeah, really,
like Miss Booker or, stuff like that, so.
I mean, there's this stupid meme with a bunch of different people on it, and it's like, who of these sort of people who've passed on, like, would you most like to see? And I can never believe that anyone says anyone other than Bob Marley. I mean, the man is like, he's almost like worshipped as a god in some countries. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
He's sort of reached this level that's beyond musician. He's an activist, sort of, and so almost like a spiritual leader in some ways. It's such a big deal. And the fact that so many of his kids have had such successful music careers too is crazy. Yeah.
And grandkids.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did a festival. Was that pre-COVID?
That was pre-COVID.
That was pre-COVID? Oh my God, that was like the last festival we did pre-COVID. I think they shut everything down after that. I think we did it at FIU North.
FIU North, yeah.
Man, I can't remember anything before the pandemic, you already know. But I killed too many brain cells in the pandemic. So, but yeah, and it was the grandkids, right?
That was
Skip Marley was he performed.
Skip was there, yeah.
And
awesome.
Rita was there.
Cool.
She actually came.
Wow.
She was frail, but she was there. She was there solid, so giving the support of the family, just being the anchor. They were not all of them were there, but a lot of the brothers were there too.
Wow,
we get to see them a lot. It's a privilege really to be around such greatness. We just did the Peter Tosh 420 festival. And we got to be with his granddaughter, right?
Granddaughter
and daughter. And just to see like that family also, that the generation, you're really like right there, and you see and that was actually big shout out to Lanso for doing that show with us from Culture Shock. And look, right here, Lanso. I love this hat. He said they don't make this hat no more, and I was like, oh my God. Anyway, that's another podcast. But
an entire podcast like series based on why they don't make that hat.
Why he doesn't make that hat? Lanso, call me. So but we did that, and it was a great festival. We played I thought it was a great night of music. We played really, really well, and everybody.
We did a tribute. We basically did a lot of Peter Tosh songs and stuff.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, true. And we did a medley. It was really nice. So we played all that good stuff. So there's a lot of tradition.
You can really hear in your sound the kind of understanding and like almost like the lineage in there. It's the production is so, for want of a better word, like accurate. It's like it's what it should sound like. Everything's just right, and I love it. I've been driving around all day, like bopping to tunes in between when I wasn't teaching and stuff. And I'm a reggae fan, and I was just like, the thing that struck me, second after like these songs are great was like, wow, this production is awesome, and it just reminds me so much of that good 70s and 80s reggae, the good stuff. And it sounds great, man. You did a great job with it. Where did you record?
Which one? Well,
this one was with Dean. This is the time where we're going to have to leave the show because we haven't even talked about any of our other band members because it's terrible. So I want to give a shout out to Steve Naraga on the bass.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Dean Fishback on the piano. I want to give a shout out sometimes to Jamie Glessman on the piano. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Daniel Largy on the trombone, my brother. Devin Heinrichs on saxophone, my other brother. The quarterback of the team, Nate Largent. Yes, the quarterback. He's the drummer. So without, your band's only as good as your drummer.
Well, that's
it. There's nobody else.
True word spoken.
That's nobody else. I'm not forgetting anybody important. Nobody. Okay.
Yes, you did.
He's listening. I know he's listening, and he's going to hear this for the first time. And Ron Eisner.
There you go.
Our guitar player. He's like he's the heart and soul.
He's our
of this
head
thing.
man.
He's
our man.
Ron was the guy
head
who got in touch with me about this actually, and who sorted it all out. So big up, Ron. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Ronsky.
Yeah, you guys are a great guest. You got a lot of band members, huh?
Yeah. Oh wait, that's just the first half. And then,
right.
And of course, our Alicia.
Yeah.
She's the 15th Beatle.
Yeah.
And that's our dream team right there.
So what's it like
that's why
trying to coordinate stuff? Like, is it a nightmare?
It's got to be like herding cats, right? I mean,
worse. We've used the herding cat thing. It's herding musicians.
You can imagine our group me streams there.
Oh
really.
My God.
Ours are ridiculous. Like, we're a trio, so I can't even fathom.
Imagine.
I got to figure out something to play in your band just so I can see these group memes.
Oh my God! Absolutely. We'll hire you. Apparently, we're hiring everyone.
There's always openings.
Yeah, there's always openings. So you can definitely come. And man, it's true, OJ. That's the group me is funny that you say that. Oh my God, it's 10 opinions on everything. There's 10 opinions on everything. There was 10 opinions about everything.
You guys are pretty good about like taking a vote and everything.
Dude,
on stuff. Trying to do
we've been together so long that we've just had to get to.
It's a hive mind. You all just think alike now, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, we know what each other's going to think, and we know how each other's going to respond. And
how long have you been together?
Oh my God,
15 years is the band now.
Well, not the whole band.
Not the whole band. I mean, we started out as a 5-piece.
Okay.
In Deerfield. Well, I guess we can go to. I mean, when I joined the band, it was a 5-piece already. They had another singer there, and I just knew Ron from open mic jams and stuff like that around town and stuff. I was whoring around with like 5 different bands at the time.
We're working. We don't use the whole
We
term.
all do it, man.
We don't use the term hoeing anymore.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Yes.
So one day he called me on a Sunday and was like, "Yo, OJ, I need you really bad right now. Our singer just didn't show up to Kahuna's. We need a singer right now." And I wasn't working, and I was just like, all right, let me make it over there. So I got over there on time before they started.
Nice.
And did a whole show. I never really met Steve, Dean, or Nate yet, but I was just like, whatever, it's reggae. I know a lot of tunes. I've been singing them all forever, so went out and that was it. They were the best band I had played with the whole time I've been playing in Florida, pretty much.
Wicked. So yeah, we never got to it with places you've recorded. So I think we somehow got
we got sidetracked a little.
Oh my God, these drugs.
Well, our first recording we did at our warehouse.
Okay.
We just put blankets around amps to isolate as much as we could and recorded everything live right there.
And it's such a badass album.
Yeah.
The songs are so good.
Did you guys mix and master yourselves? Or
yeah,
nice.
We did everything ourselves, and that was our what we wanted to do.
Yeah,
we wanted to do everything ourselves when we decided to go with this band.
Yeah.
So
for me, I find that tracking I enjoy doing myself, but then when it comes to the mix, I get a little bit overwhelmed when it's my own music because I just become too like lost in the weeds,
Yeah, that's Dean. That's
Dean.
Right.
That's
so here's
Dean.
the thing about the bad part about having 10 people is the obvious thing, right? Is 10. So it's 10 schedules, 10 opinions, 10 everything. But we don't talk about the superpower of having 10 people in a band. Having 10 people in the band, you also have 10 superpowers in the band. So one of our superpowers is Dean Fishback, who's our keyboard player. He mixes. He has his own studio.
Right.
Oh my God, Seven Hills, is that what it is? Seven Hills Studios.
Yeah.
And anyway, he does our mixing.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of tracking for all these amazing reggae artists. They all come through. So we're super lucky to have him, to have someone like that in the band who's like, yeah, I'm gonna mix your stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and he spends all day doing reggae, so he's just dialed into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but he goes through what you just said.
Yeah.
He's trying to listen to it objectively, but he's in the band too.
Yeah.
So he's like, and then you got 10 opinions about everything.
Oh,
yeah.
And then, so, Dean has to fight us off. But he's very good at going around and being like, talking to OJ, hey, how was your,
how did you think about the mix?
Yeah, what you think about your mix? What about your voice? Blah, blah, blah. He'll, Dave, come through and listen to the horns. And,
Yeah, there's a talent. I mean, there's a talent with the, being able to mix it and master and all that. But there's a whole nother talent of being able to take 10 different opinions and being able to blend that into one cohesive thought. You know?
Yeah. And Dean, we call him Dean the Machine, the Machine, Dino the Machino, all kinds of cool names, but because he's really cool. And, he really is. He just
does a damn good job. I mean,
dude.
Damn.
And we mastered. Now he mixes it. Now we mastered this one, Ojay David, at Line and Fox. So that's a good one.
So this new one you recorded yourselves as well with Dean, and then
we decided, to go outside the box just to give somebody who's not in the band also an opinion, because Dean, he can. I'm sure he could do.
You could be too close to it.
He could do it. It's always good to have. And it was Dean's all totally okay with it. He's just like, I'm gonna mix it. He mixed it down and then he sent it out, and so we all have like compartments of different aspects of the music business.
Yeah, okay.
That's our superpower, that we have different people that can do different things.
That's great.
And so we can be very self-sufficient, hence we can be together for a long time.
Absolutely.
And move all these people, through states and states and cities.
Talking about
and
moving all
concerts.
these people, do you guys travel a lot? Like, do you play, where have you played?
We pretty much play all up and down the East Coast.
I
mean, everywhere. California, too. The band's been out to Cali.
A five-piece, early on, we did a little tour up and down the West Coast a little bit. And
but we've gone from here all up and down
from
the
here
East
all the way up to Traverse
City, up to the Midwest kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
bust it around, or you got a little caravan of like 11 vehicles or something.
No, we got a van. We got a van, and there's a special way to live in a van.
There is. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah,
it's tidy.
Yeah. Oh, we're all very close.
Yeah,
we're all very, very close, because you have
Extremely.
not 10 but 11 people in a 11 passenger van.
Yeah.
11, sometimes 12, depending.
If we
11,
have sometimes 12. We'll add a. Yeah, like you said, you could join, man.
Yeah.
You want to come on in?
I'm about it, man.
There's room.
Come on
There's
in.
room.
And then, obviously we got a trailer, because, we haven't talked about luggage yet. And so, yeah, it's cool. So we travel. Yeah, we do travel. We do a lot of gigs in Florida, too. And Florida's pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
We forget.
It's the size of England.
That's
not even a joke.
It's not,
Yeah,
it's really the
right.
size of
It's
England.
stupid how big Florida is. Like, you drive forever, and then you finally get to Georgia, and then in the blink of an eye, you pass like 4 states.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
It's so dumb.
Yes, exactly. So
And we're not even like at the bottom. It's another 4 hours south of us.
Right. That's
Totally.
Florida. And, you can finally, relax with your driving. As soon as we pass Florida-Georgia line coming south, everyone in the van is, putting on their seatbelt, and, it's like,
Right.
we're in Florida. Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's get serious about the driving here, because, you might get shot
Yeah.
driving,
Especially that North Florida a little bit there.
We don't stop in North.
No, we keep going for there.
You gas up a lot just before. Just go right.
Just keep going.
West Palm. West Palm. We're okay. West Palm. We're okay.
No, I hear that. So you also play in Jamaica sometimes, right? Have you ever done that?
Guys.
We've done it.
We have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We've done it
with our father.
Okay.
I've done it with the 5-piece.
Yes,
once.
with the 5-piece. That's what
Okay.
It was actually a cool event. It was like a jazz and blues festival, the one that kind of travels around to the Caribbean.
Oh, nice.
And I forget if it was Janet, my dad's late wife, who set that up for us. It was great. I got to meet Beanie Man that day. And
Oh, sick.
we saw Matisyahoo perform.
Yeah.
And it was a great stage
awesome.
and everything.
Yeah.
Man, I was
Awesome
and remain a
experience.
big Beanie Man fan. Yeah, I remember when I was like 19, 20, I was all about spinning dancehall and like mixing it with drum and bass and everything. That was my whole thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Like, yeah, I like
drum
that
and
too.
bass and jungle was.
Yeah, I was into all that.
Yeah, and I'd buy like as many reggae records as I could, and then get all the jungle vinyls as well, and like mix them all together and everything.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
My
Oh my
cousin
God.
still does that.
Dude, I was
he
just
goes by Kingpin.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I was just listening to that with Danny, actually. Danny, the trombone player.
Yeah, he's really.
And I was
good.
listening to it with him in the car, and he was just showing me stuff on it. And there's somebody who's bringing in artists from Jamaica, the actual artists, and supposed to using the samples, using the real artists to redo all that
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And that's
amazing.
super dope. And
Yeah,
so
it
we
is.
were watching the video of that. But I remember I was driving. No, I wasn't driving. He was driving. I was watching it in the passenger seat. And Danny wasn't watching because he was driving. Okay, so
Had to clarify that.
Yeah, I had to clarify that for the law. And he.
Yeah, our audience is like 95% cops.
I knew it. I knew it. Man, so anyway, we're listening to that. That's cool that they do that, and it kind of like the what's this guy's name from France that also does that? Manu Digital. You guys.
Oh, yeah.
ever- he's also great too, where he goes and gets the actual reggae artists from Jamaica and has them,
Yeah, Horace Andy used to do a lot of stuff with Massive Attack.
Oh, man.
I loved all those.
Horace, yes.
His that insane like vibrato he has,
He's
where his
a
voice
cool
actually
guy.
stops. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how he does it, but that
Aaron Neville kind of does the same thing, right? The falsetto, right?
yeah, so awesome.
How you do that?
Yeah, totally. So do you guys have a writing process? How do you guys write music for the band?
Oh, wow.
I want to start with OJ.
We write together or separately. Depends on the vibe going on. Sometimes we'll write a song right there at rehearsal.
Yeah.
Where as people are filing in, if the rhythm section is there, we'll start jamming and something comes out of it. That's how we got sound check.
Yeah, gotcha. yeah. That's cool. Who were the sort of principal writers in the band, would you say, or is it everybody?
Well, just recently we started.
Everybody. Recently,
everybody's
everyone's
just been wanting to bring something to the table.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like,
It's really cool.
It's a lot of creative minds coming to the table.
Yeah. No, you had
and a lot more music's
a
coming
lot
out.
more music. Yeah.
That's
wicked.
awesome.
Yes, that's so. Yeah, because at the beginning you had like Dean and Ron.
At the
writing a lot
beginning,
of
it was
songs.
just Dean, Ron, and me were the only writers.
SOJA.
Yeah. It's almost like let's have a band more of like a collective at this point, 11 members,
Yeah, exactly. It really has turned out to right. The whole point is Ojay and Sahara on almost every writing because they're Ojay and Sahara. Everybody wants to work with Ojay and Sahara. Everybody in the band is like, no, when can you
We're
get
popular.
When can you get the Smiths down here? Get the Smiths. I need the Smiths for this song, right?
Yeah, we'll
I
get
need
that
Sahara to come over here and. lead
How
the
was
vocals.
Awake David, your single? How was that written? Who wrote that?
Oh wow!
Me and Ron
Right.
wrote that one.
Okay.
Ron had the first verse kind of written out, and I think he had the whole, the chord progression and everything figured out already, and I just went and did the second verse.
Gotcha. Awesome. So this is a question that we ask all the guests, and it's kind of I don't know, there's something sort of funny about it. I enjoy it. Do you still practice at home on your instrument? Do you ever do that? You ever just sit at home and practice trumpet?
Are you fucking kidding me?
He does constantly.
I am practicing.
I want to practice as much as he does.
I practice, bro. I'm gonna tell you. You asked for it. You said I could talk in this.
Absolutely.
Thing. You said I should talk.
Get on the mic.
Talking was encouraged.
It is.
Yes.
Wasn't supposed to anyway, all right. So I told you I was gonna do both of them. Okay. So I get up. I have my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I start thinking, damn, I suck at playing trumpet. Right. And I'm like, I need to do something about this today. And I go and I sit down, pull out the horn, start playing my long tones.
What time are we talking?
I live in an apartment.
Remember, he is a musician.
So yeah, but it could be
like the crack of noon.
No,
right?
the crack of noon. You got it, buddy. And that coffee, like, my God, I'm up early today. And I start playing, and then and then after I do my long tones, I feel better about my life, and then I'm like, oh my God, now I gotta go play piano because I have to go teach piano. So I go and I start playing piano.
Yeah.
And that's why you see me like I'm sitting on this table and I'm like,
right, yeah.
I'm doing all my scales because I'm supposed to be practicing right now. And then, and then I'll practice piano, I'll practice guitar, and then...
You definitely have to keep your chops up on piano. Like I have a piano student who's getting rapidly better, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get it back in the lab, I gotta get this done here.
Oh yeah. No, I had one, I just taught one Moonlight Sonata, which by default I learned Moonlight Sonata. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this song... Beethoven, Jesus, what a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Oh my God, really? Like this chord too, Beethoven, Yeah. But the trumpet's the hardest for me because it's gotta play a lot, bro. I gotta play the trumpet a lot because you fatigue very quickly.
Yeah, totally. You're right. Those long notes. The trumpet players I've known, over the years when I was a student, I've lived with a few, and sometimes just for hours on it, it's just. Just holding those.
Oh man, yeah. You think that's not going to drive you insane? And then the neighbors. Oh my God, man.
Please tell me you live like in a really thin-walled apartment.
I do.
I love
it. Not just that, but it's a condo, so they can't kick me out. An owner. So it's like, no matter how much you sue me, you can't. You can try. They've tried. Finally, the condo president was like, "Okay, man, listen." He was like, "Listen, we got to come to a compromise." Here. He was like, "Just don't do it late at night." They didn't care about early in the morning, but late at night. But they know I'm not going to be up early.
Comes up at all the HOA meetings, right?
Yeah.
Item number 3, about that trumpet again.
You know what? One of the ladies at the meeting, she was like, it's not that I don't like music. It's that it's every day, right? She's like, it's every day. And I love it when he plays the songs, and the long notes are real soothing. It's the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. And I was like, that's her. Like, because I would be playing scales for an hour, The poor woman has to hear, all 12 scales for an hour every day.
You know what, though? Maybe the fact that it's a little bit of an act of rebellion in the place you're at is like making it almost more fun to do.
Well, yeah. The trumpet class, Rafael Mendez said, he was like, to learn how to play trumpet, he was like, you have to play a long note and then play it again longer and then play it again longer.
Yeah, man.
And then play it again until your neighbors complain.
Yeah.
That's what he would say.
Great advice. I love that.
Yeah.
Sahara, do you ever practice these days? Or do you find yourself practicing at home?
I don't.
You know what, though?
Makes me even more upset.
It's a surprising mix of people who say they do and they don't, and you can never predict it. And but yeah.
Well, I mean, I listen to music a lot.
Yeah.
I like to go to my pool, just put the speaker on and just play some music, and I mean, I sing to it.
Yeah.
I move. I like, I mean, I would say that that's my practice.
Sure.
I just getting in a relaxed state.
Hell yeah.
And just singing to the music and
she's still so good. That's what I hate. That's why I'm angry. I'm not angry that you don't practice.
Right?
I'm pissed that I have to practice every day and you don't, and you sound the way you do, and I sound the way I do.
Sorry.
She's so good all the time.
See, I'm like you. I get up in the morning, I drink a coffee, I reflect on my life about how bad of a bass player I am, and then but then I don't do anything about it. I go do something else, and then I'm still a sucky bass player. So.
That's not true.
That's awesome.
And you have been practicing.
I have been practicing, actually.
I wake up and practice because she doesn't, and she's better than me. So I'm like Sahara's still better than me. I gotta practice.
Little sibling rivalry getting you going there.
So when it comes to practicing voice, what do you do? Like, how do you practice it?
Well, I'm kind of teaching myself ukulele right now, so I'll just practice playing songs and singing. While I'm learning a song, I'll practice singing. Then
think you're gonna eventually get the uke out in the band?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sick.
Yeah. What was it? What hurricane was it?
There's so many.
I got
We're in Florida.
Oh yeah, I got the ukulele right after I broke my ankle, and a hurricane came through, like right after that too. After I got out of the hospital, so and right before the hurricane hit, the ukulele came. So the power went out. All the whole thing. Nothing else to do. Sahara was at work.
Living the subtropical dream with a ukulele.
So I started strumming and working out chords until I could.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. It's one of those instruments where it's super simple to play something basic, but you really can take it a long way.
Oh yeah.
You can do some really interesting stuff.
Basic stuff, and just rhythmically, I'm pretty good. So because I'm a drummer,
I think it's cool how you can do all those like kind of drop 2 jazz chords on a ukulele, and you can really expand it's almost like the limitations make it almost more interesting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I really like the ukulele. I have fun with it too. All right, yeah. So I guess the next questions I have are the ones that I warned you about before, which is what's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you at a gig?
He backs away from the microphone. It's like
Sahara.
It's all you guys.
You said you had a story.
Actually, OJ
said he
had a story.
OJ has a story.
I said I plead the fifth, and
all my stories keep secret.
So we're on tour with Groundation.
Yeah.
And we just finished a show at Freebird Live up in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah.
We're out back next to the Groundation's tour bus, and our van was back there and everything. And me and the keyboard player were there, relaxing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this cop rolls up very fast and aggressively on a Segway. It was 2 of them. It was 2 of them on Segways.
There's no way that can be like intimidating.
It's like a scene from Mall Cop.
I was gonna say it really was. We were like,
it was like the strangest thing I'd ever seen. Right. So the keyboard player from Groundation, he drops the relaxation and steps on it.
That's so funny.
And then the cops are like, we don't tolerate that around here in Jacksonville. Guys, get out of here. I'm like, okay. So we just left, but it was the weirdest thing because what kind of cop rolls up on a Segway?
I imagine in that relaxed state, it was like 50 times funnier.
But I'm gonna tell you, hold up. I'm gonna tell you was that he put it under he stepped on it, right?
Yeah.
When we leaving and we call him. And he's on because we were on our
we were on our and he's on the tour bus.
He's on this bus and we're calling him and he's like, I'm like, man, you guys okay? You know, you guys want to like, you know, all leave together because you know it is Jacksonville, and you know we're the Melanin Crew, so you know we're like, you know, Melanin Crew don't belong in Jacksonville. So we were like, so he was like, yeah, man, everything's cool. No, we're gonna leave. Well, were they? Yeah, they were gonna leave. Yeah, we're gonna leave in a little bit, and blah blah blah. He was like, and no worries, man. Went back outside to the parking lot and grabbed that thing off the ground. I was like, man. He was like, it's all good, man. So
this sort of like segues very naturally into the other question I was going to ask, which is
I love it.
Something
Segues.
that the reason there you go.
Segue.
No pun intended.
So, and the reason I ask is because a couple of years ago, I got sober because I had a drinking problem and I had to stop. And since then, I found that like playing in bars and things has been 10 times easier. I used to think it was sort of, I don't know, tiring, difficult. Turns out it's not. It's fun. But in terms of like alcohol, you know, and or sort of other things, like how do you navigate that? Have you ever sort of found that to be like a difficult thing to deal with, or you know, how in terms of the band, is there any kind of like policy or anything like that? You know,
I just love saying no.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
I got used. I just had to get used to saying no because I mean, in a band, you know, people offer you drinks all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Every gig.
That was the final
time.
nail in the coffin for me. It was always whiskeys, you know.
I toured with another band called Uprooted Hootenanny, and
those
guys as well.
They treat those guys like science experiments.
Yeah. I'm saying,
you
that
know,
was our band too. Yeah.
You know, so it's I'll just say no, or I'll fake like I'm actually drinking it, but it's getting filled into another cup that I have behind me or something, you know.
I think the best is we've had a few shows now where people are like, they're offering us drinks. We tell them we don't drink. So, you know, James, the other guy in the band, and myself, we just don't drink at shows. We just choose not to. And so we tell people we don't drink, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they go like this, and they set it down on the stage next to you anyways. You're like, okay. We still don't drink. What part of that did you? Yeah, it's crazy.
I still don't know why people get offended by that. I think people sometimes get really offended if you don't drink with them.
I think it's partly that
they feel bad about themselves.
Yeah, it feels better if everyone's doing it because then it's normal. You know what I mean?
We had a guy. Ben and I had a guy in. It was Abacoa somewhere. We were playing a show, and a guy was coming up to it. There was nobody in the bar. I mean, it was one of those gigs where it was you know, like us and the bartender and like maybe two people, and the guy was standing maybe 3 feet in front of us and pumping his fist. He's like, yeah, and we were playing the slowest song ever. So I don't know what he was doing, but he's like, yeah. So then he's doing the finger guns and everything. He's like, brewski, and we're like, yeah, we don't drink. And then he's like, okay, rum and cokes. Yeah, man, we still don't drink. Like
and then he gave us 10 minutes, and he comes back and does exactly the same thing. Rum and cokes, rum and cokes, and we were like, no, we're good. He's like, brewski, yeah, we wouldn't stop. Anyway, I know that everyone who's a musician has been in that position a million times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think now it's a good opportunity for us to listen and watch some of your music. Does that sound good?
Ooh.
Yeah, sounds like
right, let's do it.
Fantastic.
Let's do that.
Generation who was not afraid to stand up for justice and able to break the chains of mongers of war, ruling the nation with fear and brutality. And you can call me crazy, but if we don't try, we'll never know. If we don't try,
sense of time, we roll a huge one and ignite the fire of truth and inspire the youth to seek knowledge, to free their mind from them one mentality. Cause you know say Babylon feed on all form of slavery. Well, you can call me crazy. If we don't try, we'll never know. If we don't try, we'll never know. If we don't try, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and try. We'll never know. We'll never know.
.561 Music is brought to you by Handlebars Bar and Grill. It's a biker bar in Tequesta, so if you're driving out of Jupiter on US 1, you come to it on your right. It's a little yellow building. It's been there forever. It used to be called Judy's, and my father-in-law took it over about just a year ago now, and almost exactly a year ago. And he's been doing great work there. They cleaned the place up because it was getting a bit dilapidated, and gave it a fresh lick of paint and cleaned the lines. And so the beer's great there now. The AC works there now, and the food is great. Burnsy does a great job with the food. And if you're a regular listener to the podcast, you will know that I have been talking about how we weren't allowed music there. We are now allowed music there again, which is great. And I booked the music there, so if you're interested in doing a bike night, get in touch with me. We've got Bear Toe playing this bike night, but it's on Thursday, which is tomorrow as the time of this recording, but it will be yesterday as of the time of you listening to this. So unfortunately that is not relevant in this point in time, but there is a bike night. There is a bike night every second Thursday of the month, and a jam that I host on the fourth Sunday of every month. Now, it's not going to be happening this month because we're going to be away on tour. Killbillies is going to be on tour, but most months there's going to be a jam there on the fourth Sunday, and it's a all-inclusive jam. No matter what kind of style you play or abilities you have, all are welcome, and it's a good time. Hector, you've come to the jam before, haven't you?
Yeah, it was a really good time. We brought my son came and he brought his drums, and I brought some bass gear and jumped in and did some stuff. I'm not a jammer, but it was still fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You did a great job. So come down to Handlebars Bar and Grill and check it out. There's always a bunch of interesting sort of classic bikes out there. Sometimes people show up in their rat rods, stuff like that. It's a cool spot. The other sponsor we have is Oasis Root Carver Bar. This place is in Sea Grape Square, just off Indian Town Road. It's run by this cool guy, Jim, who I know real well at this point, and he's a huge supporter of the podcast. And thank you so much for supporting it. It means a lot to us. So if you don't know anything about Carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and mix with water, and gives you a little bit of a warm, kind of chilled out feeling, I suppose is the way to describe it. It's not really intoxicating in the way alcohol is. It's more just kind of a social thing to do. And Kava bars are somewhere between a regular bar that serves alcohol and a coffee house. So if you're looking for somewhere to just go and chill out, hang out and chat to your friends, Kava Bar is the place. And if you've never been to one, Oasis Root is a great place to start because he has a really high quality product and it's a real friendly group of guys that you can find in there. They do a poker night in there and it's a lot of fun. They've got video games you can play and there's a couple of different types of Kava bars. You get the ones that are like sort of nightclubs and you get the ones that are like cafes. This is more of a cafe vibe. It's sort of bright and breezy in there and super chilled out. So come check out Oasis Root Kava Bar in Seagrape Square off Indian Town Road. All right.
And our third sponsor is Live Music Community. And if you haven't heard of Live Music Community, it is the studio we are sitting in right now as we speak. Live Music Community is first and foremost a music school for kids and adults. They give lessons. They put people together in groups that have similar interests and similar music interests and similar levels of music and of music ability, and they form bands and they teach them everything from not just playing their instrument but how to be in a band, how to communicate, how to write, just literally how to be in a band. They do shows and things like that, and they go out and they do shows in the community with in different locations, different bars and different venues. And Live Music Community actually just had I believe it was their third Give and Let Give event this last Sunday that you and I were here. And it was pretty amazing, man. There was a ton of kids that came through here. We gave away all sorts of gear.
Yeah,
and thank you
V,
for,
a telecast.
Yeah, and thank you to all the musicians that donated gear, used gear. It was an absolutely amazing event. We gave away a Flying V to one kid. We gave away an American-made Telecaster that someone donated. We gave away Eden bass cabinets. We gave away some incredible stuff. We also gave away, pedals and cables and just all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of happy kids that walked out of here with some gear, and that's really the spirit of the event. People were giving gear, and we were giving it away to kids that could use it and to help them start their musical journey or continue it.
Exactly, yeah. I love the event, and it's so much fun because so many people I know swing by, and it's kind of almost like a little social event.
Yeah, and the other amazing thing is, I said thank you to everybody for donating the music gear that they did, but I just want to note that we had so much stuff donated to us that even though we gave away a ton of stuff, just as the other two events, and this is the third one now, we ended up with more gear and more stuff than we started with. Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be a Give and Let Give on the horizon #4 coming soon.
Absolutely.
This was supposed to be an annual event, I think, and this is the third one this year. So in the last year,
they've been going great. So every student I have now, I'm like what do you need? Because we might have it.
Because we might have it,
yeah.
And then the other thing is, like I mentioned, the bands that LMC puts together, they get these kids and they give them shows. Not just we're not talking like a recital here at LMC or whatever like you would have in your standard music school. These are bona fide shows, playing in some cases multiple bands, in other cases opening for other bigger local acts and stuff. So, for example, Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies, which is a fantastic band name, by the way.
It is.
Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies is playing at 5 p.m. On the 24th of July. And that's down at the Fish Depot. They're opening up for Rough Shot, and they're going on at 5 p.m.
And they're great. And one of the people in the band, Lyric Altman, I teach him, and he's coming on just great. He's becoming quite the little musician. He's awesome.
Yeah. So Live Music Community, guys, it's a music school. It's a studio. You can get your recordings done here. It's obviously a podcast studio. We have a green screen in here. You shoot some videos. You can do live streaming from here. Just all sorts of stuff. So check them out. They're local, and as always, support local. So
yeah, man. I work here, and I look forward to coming to work every day. So
I feel like you work here and you live here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right. So what we like to do after talking about live music community is ask you guys, do you have any advice for young musicians who are trying to get into the game?
Man, I spend my day doing this. You guys got to start. I got mad advice.
Drink your coffee and
Practice.
Practice. Like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And
practice for sure.
And don't be afraid to get out there and look for the stuff that you offer, like the open mic jams and stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't be here without doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought you might bring that up, and it's absolutely right. When I first moved to Florida, the first thing I did was start hitting up the jams and just seeing what the landscape was like that.
Yeah,
that's definitely a cool thing to do. And yeah, if you're just starting out, just head to a jam and start getting to know. It's networking is a big part of it.
Networking is a huge part.
You know what I would say to a young musician? Join marching band.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would
join
kick your ass.
Marching band.
Yeah. I loved that.
And learn how. If you want to be a singer, join a marching band. Pick up something and start playing. Just play an instrument and try to do it really, really well.
Yeah. Everything about it is just conducive for life as a musician. Because
it's like a military.
It's military. The discipline involved in it, and it is essential for making it as a musician. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one of the best drummers I've ever played with. Ben, he was a big marching band guy when he was at college, and his technique and his endurance was just nuts. Yeah.
One of my guilty pleasures is the movie Drumline.
If my band director saw my forearms right now,
I got a lot of friends that were disappointed in me. Yeah. I do. I'm not kidding. I really do.
Oh,
got
that's
a lot
awesome.
of friends. They're on tour right now. You know that movie ended up turning into like a Broadway show.
Did it really?
Yeah, and so now they perform on stage.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they do the same. The guys from the real HBCUs. Yeah. From FAM. It was really like, a lot of guys from FAM. From Florida A&M.
Sure. We're in that movie.
Yeah, we're in that movie. So that's a cool movie. And they go on they go on tour and they do the same thing on stage, and it's a really crazy show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So we just watched your video for Awake David. Can you tell us a little bit about what the song was about, and the recording of the video?
Sahara, tell them about what the song was about.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You sang in it.
Hot seat.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
What did I sing?
You know what you sang.
What were the words again?
Well, OJ and Ron wrote it. All right.
Okay.
Tell them the story. I don't want to be the only one talking, man, all the time.
Tell us about it, Sahara.
In my opinion, to me, it is it's kind of like a call to arms, not necessarily to arms, but like
call to awakening.
Call to awakening.
Right
yes,
on. Yeah,
where we're awaking the little hero inside.
Yeah.
We awake.
Whoa. David.
I thought we couldn't say
awake
it's you.
David.
It's not you.
Well, David, yes, but not me. It's not me. It's King David.
Yes.
Not the
okay. Yeah.
Why you gotta say little hero when I pointed at myself?
David is his little hero.
Yeah, David, I guess he is the little hero. I guess I am.
It's awaking the little hero in the face of Goliath. You know?
Man. Yeah, wicked. Yeah. Where did you record the video?
We recorded it in West Palm.
Yeah.
At old what was that building?
It's across from Grandview, I think. Grandview Station.
Yeah.
Well,
right. Well, no.
Part of it was
Magnolia,
across from
right? Magnolia
from
Station.
Magnolia
Station.
Yeah, it's
the
called
Magnolia Station
on Tri-Rail. So
the old Tri-Rail station.
So and the way it came about was it was cool. I think we were all sitting in my living room, right? We were all sitting, and pretty much the whole band, which is a lot of people to get together and no money involved. So and so we
it's like a wedding when you guys get together.
Yeah. So everybody's there and we're relaxing. And so Ron is like, we need to make a video like a like a hip hop video, and you know,
We're
now
like,
we're like,
huh?
all right, what's going on?
Like, slow down,
I was like, Ron, no more beer. And then he's like, no, seriously, it needs to be like a rap video. So we were like, okay, fine, like a rap video. So you know, we all start kind of jumping on and like trying to shooting around ideas. And so I put on, I think, the Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man.
It was Method Man, yeah.
It was like METHOD, man, and they're like in the slums, of like, what is it, Long Island? Because he's from,
I think they were in Long Island, yeah.
Yeah, he's from Long Island, so they're like in the slums of Long Island.
Some abandoned building and stuff like that.
In an abandoned building, a lot of this going on until the camera, I'm like, and I'm thinking like Awake David, like it's like a, it's like a very strong. It's like like take action. If you gotta hit the streets to make your change or your point, to get things to change for the better. Do it and awaken it in yourself.
They're from Staten Island. I was trying to remember.
Staten Island. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And so so I was like, I saw the vision. I was like, I could do it. So Ron was like, let's do it. And so we hired our man Chase, who was a videographer, and he was like, I got a location. And so he came up with the location, and then Ron and I directed the video. Oh, cool. And then and Chance,
like we said, we do everything ourselves.
I love that.
Chance. Chance. He was exactly, superpowers. So Chance videography. He did the videography, and then we went around West Palm and did a shoot and run, and it's literally that. You shoot and you run from the cops as they're coming because you don't have a permit. So I mean, the cops only showed up twice. It wasn't that bad. And
it wasn't even the cops. It
wasn't even the cops. Yeah, security guard showed up, and
was he on a Segway?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. But he showed up. He showed up. It was funny. This is a story. You want stories, right? So he shows up in the car, and we're like shooting the horn scene. We're like going back and forth. And he's like, you guys can't shoot here. Oh, okay. And I'm like, so everybody's like, oh, pouty, everybody starts putting all their stuff away. And like a good director, I'm like, don't put your stuff away. And then, what? Don't move. Just wait till he drives away so we can get 2 more shots. There you go. And so as soon as he turned the corner, I was like, hey, everybody back in position. So everybody gets back in position. We start shooting again. Ooh, where the horns are dancing. If you see the video, you'll see the horns are dancing. Now you'll know what happened. So the horns are dancing. And Ron's like, we need to get another shot. So, we get an angle, blah, 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 us up and jumping up and down. We're jumping up and down. Here he comes again. I told you guys, you got to get out of here. So we ended up getting, going somewhere else. That's how we ended up in a second location with all these other shots. Yeah.
So we actually recorded a video right in that similar spot next to the train tracks for our single Promised Dream. And at the time, Noah, the guy who recorded it, his office was like in that building.
In that like warehouse building.
Yeah, in that warehouse building, right where you guys shot it as well. So we got like permission because he's actually was working in the building. Yeah. So it was right there as well. It's crazy. We pretty much recorded videos in the same spot.
That's insane. The security said, it's funny. He says, no, after 3 p.m., he's like, I won't be here. So whatever happens here, he says it's cool. He was just like, because he saw we had like a whole production set up, Yeah,
that was nice.
And the piano player was like, "Nah, we're leaving." And I'm like, "Nah, man, let's." He's like, "Nah, if at 3 o'clock anybody can be here," he was like, I don't want to be here. He goes like, I wonder how many people know that and who's coming after 3.
That's a fair assumption.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go hit the alleys of West Palm.
All right, so the question I have on the video is, Sahara, how many outfits did you actually wear in that video?
Only 3.
Only 3?
That's not
she wanted to wear more.
But she had a car full of them.
Right.
They do look spectacular.
She was prepared for more.
Yeah.
Though, right?
I was prepared for more.
Because I know that you guys are fantastic musicians, so I was a little bit like, I'm not going to do something live in the studio. But then the video more than made up for it. It's such a cool tune. It's such a great video, so it's badass. Yeah.
It's hard to get a band of 10 people.
I know,
represented in 3.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You just got to come see us. You just got to come see the experience.
And on the subject, what have you guys got coming up?
Wow.
Oh,
Juicy and I wrote a tune.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called All the Lovin' You Need.
Yeah.
We're very happy with this one. It's
nice.
it's very retro.
Yes.
Cool.
It's got a retro
old school reggae
feel
sounds
to it.
great.
Yeah, so
Even more so like than this one. It was written kind of cool. I'll tell you the story. So OJ and I were kind of driving around town with a friend of ours, and he's like playing all this old school rock steady reggae. Like it's just like, oh man. And I'm in the back seat, and him and OJ's in the front with my homie Jason Joshua, big ups to him. He and so just like OJ has his car. We had a car. I had ridden with OJ and we met up anyway. So I had to. OJ's like, I'm gonna give you a ride home. So we're driving home, and I'm like, man, OJ, you wanted me to make you a track like one of those tracks we were listening to in the car? And OJ's like, yeah. Straight up, he was just like, yeah. I was like, you got time? You want to come in the house and we write I just make it right now and we just and we do it. And he was like, yeah. So we get in the car, and I have like a little studio in my house. So we set it up, and OJ, starting to write, and I'm just like, I was just feeling that vibe. It was like boom, boom, I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling this. And it just clicked like that. It took like about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
In 2 hours, we had like almost the whole track, the bass, piano, everything, drums.
That is
lyrics,
testament to
everything.
the importance of actually listening to music, like reabsorbing it. You know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's, a huge part of playing music is knowing what you're actually trying to make. Like listening to as much music as you can is super important.
And listening to yourself, man. Like, you felt the inspiration in that moment, and, you were aware enough to go, we got to do this now. We can't wait. We have to do this right now.
Yeah. It's a stream. It's like a stream of creativity.
That's the thing. You wait till the next day and
somebody else wrote the song.
Gone.
You wait till the next day, somebody else wrote the song.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Somebody else wrote it.
You guys got any shows coming up?
Oh, God.
Do we?
Oh, God.
We do the 27th.
Right.
Is what?
Thank God OJ knows.
Man.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it.
I can't remember exactly where or what, but I know there's a gig on the 27th.
It gotta be somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah. 27.
Who?
Oh, look, he's right. Oh, shit. We're in trouble. I didn't even know. We're playing on Jazz on the Ave.
Jazz on the Ave in Delray.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Delray
God.
Art and Jazz on the Ave.
I was going to be in my bed, y'all.
How did we not?
I was going to be in my bed.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And we play 7:15 to 9:15. You see?
Nice.
See how I knew?
Hey,
See how I knew I'm
Yeah,
a
you
professional?
totally
Damn,
did.
OJ,
Organized.
thank you, OJ. Oh, my God. There's people I have to tell things to now.
That's
and we're
great.
doing a Sugar Shack session.
Yeah, we're doing that next week.
And
Friday.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's exciting for us because a lot of great bands play there.
absolutely.
That's a good one.
So Killbillies has got Meg O'Malley's coming up from 9 to 1 on
Friday.
It's actually from 8:30 to 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Friday 15th.
And that's the official kickoff of our tour, man.
That it
Oh,
is.
really? Where you
That
guys
it
going?
is.
Man, we are going to be a few dates here in Florida. Then we're I think so. We're doing a plan there. We're playing in Jupiter. We're playing up in Jacksonville. Then we're going up to Memphis. We're going up to Arkansas. Then we're going back down to Alabama. Then we're going back to Memphis, and we're spending 3 days in Memphis at Sun Studios recording our next EP.
Dude, Memphis
And-
is nice.
And then we're
You
going to
guys are gonna have
go
a good
down
time.
to Mississippi, and then back up into the Georgia, Atlanta area,
Yep.
and then back home to our last, I guess, our homecoming show in Stuart.
Yeah,
So,
Carson's
it's gonna be
Tavern, right?
about 2 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
gonna be
really
fun.
looking forward to
It's
it.
gonna be really fun.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Saturday the 16th, we are at Tiki 52 from 6:30 to 10:30. That's in Tequesta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Sunday.
am playing on my own on Sunday the 17th from 11:30 to 3:30 at Cork in Hope Sound.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. All right, so thank you so much for coming down here. I know it was coming up, I guess, because you were coming from the south. Thanks so much for coming up here. It was you guys are awesome, and you're the real deal, and it was a real pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks. As always, everybody is listening at 561 Music Podcast on all our socials. Subscribe. It's going to be above Ben's head. There's a button up there somewhere. I don't know, somewhere, and down on the corner too. It's all around Ben, really. If you haven't seen it, then you haven't been watching the episode because it's been there the whole time. You just didn't know it. Click subscribe, like, and most importantly, we have a big tour coming, so send us money. Lots of money.
Send me money too.
561music.com. There's a donation page there if you want to become a sponsor, you want to become just a single donator. Either way. We'll take it.
Or buy some Killbillies merch. It all goes to the same place.
Yes.
And that's at killbillies.net.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Take it by the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's